After the press conference, things got a little bit back to normal. There was, of course, a lot of news coverage about the return of the long-lost son of the biotech empire. A bunch of gobbledygook. Everyone speculating about what's going on. Whether I'm actually real, this and that. I kept up with it, but didn't really pay too much mind to it. I had other things to worry about. Things with me and Emily were working very smoothly. Honestly, aside from the fact that we were now dating and engaged in more adult activities than we usually did, everything basically stayed the same. Eventually, Danny got over the weirdness and started acting normal again. It didn't take him too long. After a day or so, he was fairly used to it. We had managed to up the security at the estate, where we were all staying. Guard turrets and such. Some really heavy-duty stuff, capable of defending against basically anything, even airborne attacks. We even got issued 2 XPC guard units to patrol the mansion on a regular basis. Not inside, of course. They stayed on the outer grounds of the estate and basically worked in a circular pattern, with a live uplink to the security systems of the mansion and the estate. If anything looked at all odd on any security video or thermal or imaging scans, they could instantly react and be Johnny on the spot, investigating the situation. They reacted to many a squirrel, but aside for that, everything was basically normal. It took about a week for all of the upgrades to the estate security to be complete. And while we were doing that, me and my father went about the business of setting up our factory, which would serve as both a reliable source of producing things that were beneficial to us privately, using the technology that we had access to from biotech, as well as being a nice piece of bait that my father and I began to frequently pay visits to. We had already chosen the location and made sure that we were seen paying it those visits, looking it over as we discussed what we were doing with the factory, making sure to only discuss what would be going on inside whilst we were in privacy. While we were in public, we primarily discussed how the outer defenses would be arranged, good places to bring in equipment and materials that we'd need to produce things, and security for it, making sure that nothing unwanted could slip through, be it people or technology, along with deciding how to staff the location. Primarily, it would mostly be Danny, Al, and the doctor who were in charge, along with me and Emily. However, in order to make things go at a smoother and much more easygoing pace for us, we decided that it would be best to have some extra staff, tech geeks, people that could work the machinery, do minor bits of programming, analysis, construction, that type of thing, which would allow us more focus on the more important matters. As far as the paperwork for the factory, we went with the cover of Advanced Private Weaponry Manufacturing, meaning on paper the factory would be a place where we created personalized gear and weaponry for use for biotech employees only. It was not a place for experimentation, rather for the implementation of things that they've already verified function and are simply putting to use. Basically, we just told them the truth, that we were going to be utilizing technology and assets that we had already developed within biotech and outfitting ourselves. As far as the law was concerned, there was nothing illegal about it, so we could do what we wanted. And if it just so happened to mean that we had the most advanced technological weaponry and armament available, well, they couldn't really say anything about it, because owning weapons and armaments isn't illegal. I had just gotten up a few minutes earlier and was getting ready for the day's activity, brushing my teeth, getting a bit of a shave, which was actually a lot easier than it was when I was in the Yellow District. I no longer had to worry about overusing resources, so getting a clean shave was much easier, as well as brushing my teeth and things like that. I was in the middle of brushing my teeth right next to Emily, who had actually begun to move many of her things into my room of the estate, including things she needed to start her day up. Honestly, I expected there to be much more, but wouldn't you know it, the advancement of technology inside Newgate City had pushed it to a point where the abundant amount of things that women need to look good could be contained within a very small area. For example, the advent of nanite makeup. I know, it sounds ridiculous, using one of the most advanced forms of technology on the planet to just look pretty. But I'll be damned if it doesn't work, and seems to be one of Emily's new favorite inventions that she found since coming to Newgate City, restricting basically all of her makeup requirements down to just a few small things. She had one container of lipstick, one container of eyeliner, one container of eyeshadow, basically everything down to a single increment, with a near infinite spectrum of possibilities. Basically, once she applied the lipstick, the container for the lipstick had an electronic set of dials and controls, which she could use to affect color, tone. She could do basically anything with it. Make any color, tone, or texture that she wanted. She could even make it sparkly. There were next to no limits. She could make the makeup glow like neon if she wanted to, which I had seen around town in our travels. It was definitely something that I was getting used to in Newgate City. Women here definitely took looking good to an entirely new category, with a wide range of styles and appearances that were all far above anything that anyone in the Yellow District could possibly pull off, with the limited resources that we had. Oh, the second advantage to nanite makeup is that you do not have a limited supply. And, unlike regular makeup, nanite makeup does not smudge. The moment you use it, it bonds to the skin, attaching on a microscopic scale so that it won't remove until you reopen the container of makeup that you pulled it out of. Simply make contact again and press the remove button. The nanites detach, re-accumulate back within the container, and you're now no longer wearing makeup. And basically all her makeup worked in that same way. If someone wanted to, they could simply put the makeup on and never remove it. Simply change it every morning. But I suppose I'm getting caught up on details. Myself and Emily usually joked or played around a bit during our day-to-day activities. Sometimes Emily was listening to some new form of music while she was getting ready for the day's activities. So I'd commonly brush my teeth beside her while she was listening to music. Often at times, if she thought a song was good enough, she'd hand me the earpiece that she's using to listen, and I'd listen along with her, both of us dancing a bit while we brush our teeth. If she really thought this song was good, she'd start to sing along, maybe invite me to do the same, just us doing a little duet in the bathroom. We did share some interests in music, many of them in fact, and I liked most of Emily's music, even if it wasn't particularly the type that I liked to sing, especially when you get into categories like love songs. I enjoy them, sure, but being able to sing them is another. I kinda just feel like it's an insult to the actual performer to have my shabby voice trying to attempt it. But like usual, it didn't take us long to get ready for the day. Today in particular, I was due to show up at biotech. There, Michael, my mother, and my father would be waiting for us to have a family chat and catch up on things, as well as discuss any upcoming events and any progress that's been made on ensnaring Alexander, who as of recent has dispatched his office within biotech and no longer visited there, now preferring to stay within the building that he owned with his own private company, and tended to stay off biotech grounds unless absolutely necessary. It was good not having to see him, but the fact that he was keeping to himself also pressed the concept that he was most likely up to something and needed to keep his activities secret from us.